My name is Marcus, and I used to work as a night clerk at the Silverview Hotel. I say used to, because after what happened 3 nights ago, I can never go back there. The hotel had 7 rules for night shift workers. 6 of them made sense. Rule number 7 didn't. At least, not until I broke it. If you're watching this, consider it a warning. Some rules exist for reasons we shouldn't question. Let me start from the beginning. I got the job at Silverview Hotel in October. It's an old building on the edge of town, the kind that looks elegant during the day but somehow feels different at night. The pay was good, too good for a simple night clerk position. That should have been my first warning. My manager, Mrs. Chen, was a stern woman in her 60s. During my first shift, she handed me a laminated card. "Night shift rules," she said. "Memorize them, follow them, no exceptions." I looked at the card. Night shift rules. Lock all entrances at 11 p.m. Sharp check security cameras every 30 minutes. If you hear music from the lobby piano, ignore it. Never accept food from guests. The elevator sometimes stops on the 4th floor by itself. Let it. If a child asks you for help finding their parents, call the day manager immediately. Room 217 is always occupied. Never enter it, even if the guest requests maintenance. I laughed. Is this some kind of hazing? Mrs. Chen didn't smile. Those rules were written in blood, Marcus. People who don't follow them don't last here. People who break Rule 7, they don't last anywhere. She left without explaining further. For the first 2 weeks, I followed the rules, mostly because nothing happened that made me want to break them. The piano did play sometimes, old jazz melodies at 2 a.m. I ignored it. The elevator did stop on the 4th floor randomly. I let it. A little girl did ask me once where her mommy was. I called the day manager like the rules said, and he told me to ignore her. When I looked back, she was gone. But room 217, that room fascinated me. Room 27 floor hallway. The door was always closed. The do not disturb sign was always hanging. According to the computer, someone named Jay Harrow had checked in on January 15th, 1987. The checkout date was blank. No payment information, no contact details, just that name and a date nearly 40 years ago. Who's in 217? I asked Derek, the maintenance guy. He stopped fixing the ice machine and stared at me. You new guys always ask. Don't. But someone's paying for it, right? Room's paid for. That's all you need to know. He gathered his tools quickly. My advice? Forget that room exists. But I couldn't. At night when I did my rounds, I'd walk past it. Sometimes I'd hear sounds, not scary sounds, normal sounds, a TV playing, water running. Once I heard someone coughing. Whoever was in there was real and alive. One night around 3 a.m., I was doing my camera check when I noticed something. Camera 2B. The one covering the 2nd floor hallway had a blind spot, just a small one, right in front of room 217. Convenient. That's when I started planning. It was a Tuesday night. Slow. Only 12 rooms occupied in a 100-room hotel. I'd been working there for 3 weeks, and my curiosity about room 27 had become an obsession. I needed to know. At 2047 a.m., I made my decision. I grabbed the master key card from the drawer. My hands were shaking, but I convinced myself I was just doing my job. Maybe there was a gas leak. Maybe the guest needed help. Lies we tell ourselves, right? I took the elevator to the 2nd floor. The hallway was silent except for the hum of the ice machine. I walked slowly toward room 217, staying in the camera's blind spot. The do not disturb sign swayed slightly, though there was no breeze. I raised my hand to knock, then stopped. Rule 7, never enter, even if the guest requests maintenance. My rational mind was screaming at me to turn back, but my hand was already sliding the keycard through the reader. Beep, green light. The lock clicked open. I pushed the door. The room was normal. That's what scared me most. It looked like any other hotel room. Bed neatly made, TV on, playing static, curtains drawn, the bathroom light was on, casting a yellow glow. Hello? I called out. Hotel maintenance. Just checking if everything's okay. No response. I stepped inside. The door closed behind me on its own. I spun around, but the handle still worked. I wasn't trapped. The room smelled old. Not dirty, just old, like opening a book that hasn't been touched in decades. I walked toward the bathroom. Sir? I'm sorry to disturb you, but that's when I saw it. On the desk there was a journal, old, leather-bound, pages yellowed. Next to it, a pen, and the page was open with fresh ink. Someone had been writing recently. I picked up the journal and read the last entry, November 19th, 2024. Another one came tonight. They always come eventually. Curious, stupid. They never listen to the rules. Room 27 isn't a room, it's a door, and I'm the one who keeps it closed. But every time someone opens this door, the seal weakens. Every time someone steps inside, the things on the other side get closer. I've been here since 1987. I'll be here until someone takes my place. Maybe tonight is that night. I dropped the journal. What the hell? That's when I heard it. A knock. From inside the bathroom. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, deliberate, like someone was knocking from the other side of the bathroom mirror. I backed toward the door. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. The lights went out. In the darkness, I heard breathing. Not mine. Someone else's. Close. Right behind me. And then a voice. Dry. Hollow. You open the door. Now you have to close it. I ran. I didn't think. I just bolted out of that room, down the hallway, and didn't stop until I was back behind the front desk. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. I checked the cameras. Camera 2B showed the hallway. The door to room 217 was closed. The do not disturb sign hung perfectly still, like nothing had happened. But something had changed. When I looked at the computer, the guest name for room 217 had updated. It now read, M. Torres. My name. My full name. I tried to change it. The system wouldn't let me. I tried to call Mrs. Chen. No answer. I tried to leave the hotel. Every exit was locked from the outside. For the next 4 hours I was trapped. The phone rang constantly, but when I answered, there was only static. The elevator kept going to the 4th floor and opening, but no one got out. And worst of all, I kept hearing footsteps in the hallway above me, walking back and forth, At 6:58 a.m., 2 minutes before my shift ended, Mrs. Chen walked in through the front door like nothing was wrong. She looked at me, at the computer screen showing my name in room 217, at my terrified face. You entered the room, she said. Not a question, a statement. I nodded. She sighed. Then you have a choice to make. Mrs. Chen sat me down and told me everything. The Silverview Hotel was built in 1952 on land that shouldn't have been disturbed. There's something beneath it, something old, something that wants out. Room 217 is the weakest point, the threshold, and someone has to guard it. He entered the room out of curiosity. The things on the other side tried to use him as a door. To stop them, he made a choice. He stayed, became the guardian, locked inside that room, keeping the door closed for nearly 40 years. But he's tired now, Mrs. Chen said. The seal is breaking. He needs a replacement. And that's me? I whispered. You open the door. That's the contract. Either you take his place or the door opens completely. And if it opens, she didn't finish. I spent the next 2 days researching. I found news articles about people who'd worked at the hotel. Night clerks who disappeared, maintenance workers who quit and were found dead weeks later. They all broke Rule 7. Yesterday, I made my choice. I'm recording this from the hotel. It's 10:45 p.m. In 15 minutes, I'm going back to room 27. I'm going to close that door. If you're watching this, it means I succeeded. Or it means something much worse. Either way, if you ever work a job with strange rules that don't make sense, just follow them. Because some doors, once opened, can never be fully closed again. And if you ever stay at the Silverview Hotel, don't ask about room 217. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more true horror stories. And remember, some rules exist for a reason.